Hi everyone, Kareen Erbe here with Broken Ground, and today I'm here with Jerome Ozentowski from the Central Rocky Mountain Permaculture Institute. Me and Jerome just ended a design practicum here, and I thought I would get him on here to talk a little bit about raising rabbits. And as you can see, we're right here in the rabbit hutch. So Jerome, why don't you tell us a little bit about these rabbits and about raising them?
Well, I try to do something different than raising rabbits in hutches, and so I created this space. It's about 20 by 20, and it started out with stacking a bunch of bales so that they and just different areas where they could hide and make their nests, and also there's a worm farm underneath. The bottom has wire so they can't dig out. And then they can hop around. We have nesting boxes in here, and then they can also dig into the litter and make their own nesting boxes. And then today we're giving them a little treat of a comfrey or a kale plant that I wanted to recycle out because it has some aphids on it, and then leucaena, which is one of their favorite foods. It's a nitrogen fixing tropical plant from Phoenix. And so they get in this, and we did bring some comfrey, didn't we?
Yes, yeah, it's over. We left it over there, unfortunately, but they love comfrey,
they
right?
love comfrey, and all summer they eat comfrey, barrels of it. And why don't you turn it down and show them what they're actually going to be doing here now? They're really in here just devouring this, and they're so fuzzy and so fun to play. This is the mother of all. This is the mother here. She's the grandmother right here.
Huh.
And they just love eating greens. And
So basically, rather than using rabbit hutches, you are raising these rabbits in a colony, which is a more natural
in a colony. Look at this little
system.
guy here.
Oh my gosh,
it's
so
about
cute. 4
4 generations of rabbits in here right now. And these are all females. And I separated them. They like to be petted too, so it's kind of a petting zoo as well as as a rabbit rearing place. And also, but we're also creating material for our worm farms, and for we can spread this material around our favorite trees and give them extra nitrogen and.
So what I like about the possibility of rabbits is it's a way to convert a lot of your weeds or quack grass or all of that kind of stuff into
thistles.
Your thistles.
There's only a couple of things they can't eat.
What are those things?
Well, you can go online to find out what can poison rabbits, but the hound's tongue you wouldn't feed them.
Okay.
And St. John's wort, stuff like that. It's stuff that cattle can't eat.
It's typically what rabbits can't eat.
It's pretty straightforward on that. Calendula supposedly they're not supposed to eat, but they're so fuzzy and so friendly, and it's just and then we get to clean this out every month and turn all of this this rabbit manure and what they didn't eat and some litter that we put in here, some wood chips or straw. As bedding, and it turns it into a very valuable resource. So you have the yields are meat, fur. If you get a rabbit, in the wintertime, you make something out of their fur, and then you get the fact that you don't have to buy a lot of organic grain.
Right.
That with chickens and broilers, you have to spend a lot of money buying expensive organic grain in order to create the protein in the meat, right?
Right. So what you do, you're feeding them with hay in the winter.
But some hay, but we also have the grain from the brewery.
But the grain,
which we don't have that today because we've just fed the last of it yesterday.
Right.
But that's their main source of food is the grain from the brewery.
Great.
And that's a recycled material that it's good in protein. And then when I don't have that, or I always feed them a little bit of hay, and I'm able to get really good hay at a good price or for free, trading it for other farmers. And that's something that's available locally, and it doesn't cost that much. And you know, in Peru, they have guinea pigs on their balconies, and all the trimmings that they have from their vegetables go to the guinea pig, and then they eat the guinea pig. And you can I do that with rabbits as well. I'll give them any spent vegetables that are, and we used to go to the Vitamin Cottage and get bags of produce, organic produce that they cycled out, and now they've given that to a cogeneration plant. But that was another source of food.
Right. Yeah.
Free food.
Yeah, exactly.
And diversity.
Yes.
Because they were eating, you know, organic kale and stuff that was wilted.
Yeah.
And so they got a lot more diversity than.
Well, I suppose that's the thing to do in the winter, right? Is you have hay for them, but then to increase the diversity, it's kitchen scraps from your
Right.
home, but also if you can close the
Look at
loop.
this guy. See, they love to be petted. Look at this guy. In the spring, I'm going to clean all this up and rebuild the bales and kind of rebuild their hobbit house.
Okay.
Because they've eaten it all down.
Right.
It's like they've eaten their gingerbread.
They've eaten through their gingerbread house. So
It's like the three little piggies, right?
So if you were to set up a rabbit colony, you do have to put wire on the bottom,
Yes,
right?
and everywhere else, double
Right.
wire. You have to put wire and then chicken wire.
Right.
So
So because they're burrowing animals, because otherwise they will burrow down and under a fence.
I would like to do one where they actually could burrow in the ground, but you would protect it from the outside.
Right.
Because they love to make nests in the ground. That's
Their habit.
that's what they go back to.
Right.
And it's amazing that rabbits really, even though they're domesticated, they go back to their basic instincts
Right. Right.
because they're not that far. And
Removed.
and we also don't want to have specific breeds. We like crosses, like a
Okay.
hybrid vigor.
Okay.
So these are like, there might be some mink in here, mink rabbit. There might be there's California whites. There's some other kinds of rabbits, and they're all, like there's probably 4 different breeds in here.
Any last recommendations for people who are thinking about raising rabbits?
Well, I think we need to, with our food and supply chain, food system and supply chain, on the verge of collapsing, we need to think of things that are very, very easy to raise at low costs and that have multiple yields.
And don't take up a lot of space
And
either.
don't take up a lot of space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also we did have a bobcat get in here, but you just have to be diligent in making the fence, rabbit-proof, bobcat-proof, and it's a challenge.
Right.
Bears won't necessarily get into here, but and I like the idea of stacking other animals in here with the pigeons and the bees on top and the worms in the bottom.
Yeah.
It allows us to have this like a living laboratory of production and,
Right.
and diversity all in one space.